All right, y'all. So welcome back to another episode of Black Spark Cafe. We're going to change it up a little bit. This was supposed to be our season finale, but we're changing it up. We're going to add additional episode. I think we're still going to do the baby mama, baby daddy episode, but we're just trying to group up everybody together and kind of get that one set up. So I got a couple of guys here. We're going to knock out some topics. We're still going to have some good times. Crystal's not here, unfortunately. Kenny's not here. Well, Kenny ain't never here. Kenny hasn't been on an episode since day one. Now that I realize it. Yeah, listen. Okay. Listen. Well, listen, we got OT Petty in the audience, so I gotta let them know who's the pettiest. So we're gonna run that right now.
It's definitely not gonna be you.
But anyway, so we're gonna switch it up, have some good topics, some good conversation. I want everybody introduced, so I'm gonna go right to left. This is my right? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so my name is Brandon King, owner of
Whatever.
King's Kicks, entrepreneur. You can follow me, IG at King Lace Me. I'm also a government contractor for the military, and that's about it.
All right. So you got secret clearance and everything?
Top clearance, yeah.
Okay, all right.
My name is John, also known as John Appleseed. I sow my royal oats throughout the city. I'm also a podcaster. No shit Sherlock, but it's SHHH. And I'm here. Yes, 3 H's. SHHH.
Did you just crack your neck?
I did.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Go ahead. What you want me to do?
No, introduce yourself.
All right. I'm Abdullah. Hey, everybody. I'm 1/4. I'm 1/4 of the cast of No Sherlock as well with Aloysius, aka John. I'm also a singer, songwriter, producer, all that type of stuff. Hairstylist, teacher, educator, proud.
When you said 1/4,
He's Jamaican.
this little dude. Oh, I don't know why I thought you were gonna say 1/4 Indian,
No.
or I don't know what I
That's
thought
why
you
you
were
don't
gonna
get
say.
paid to think. Just be
That's
quiet.
true. That's true. I just, you know what? I get paid to be on the show right here.
Oh,
Yeah.
got me.
Yep. All right. So we're going to talk about a couple of topics. Each topic that I kind of picked out kind of just with some good topics. I've known these guys for a little bit of time. So each topic kind of hits on some of the topics that we kind of chit-chat about off the record. So we're going to go from there. So these topics are not in any particular order. I think the first thing that I want to talk about, so HIV tests. Should they be available in the drugstores like pregnancy tests? What do y'all think?
Yes.
Yeah?
I say yes and no.
Okay.
One of the reasons why I say yes is because, you want to just get a quick one. But
Oh, quick. That's why they in the predicament they in.
yeah, but I say no because I think it should be very private. And then, of course, you expose yourself when you go into the counter to cash out and stuff. You're like, oh, you getting this, and and then you take the risk of people seeing you and all of that. So it's better just to go to maybe a doctor or somebody, a free clinic, to do that.
I think by that point, it don't even matter, because if you really at the point where you need to know and you go into a drugstore to get a test, I think you don't even care who gonna see you. That's just like people buying Plan B or
That's
just like pregnancy tests. People still embarrassed about condoms.
Yeah, but I mean, you didn't get into what if it's not accurate, because a lot of pregnancy tests are not accurate.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I think it should be, and I think just like he said, Plan B. People buy Plan B as it is right now, so everybody's out there buying Plan B. So what's the difference? And then what are those circumstances where, like, okay, if we're in a relationship or we just meet and we want to take it to the next level, and I kind of want to go ahead and get that knocked out of the way. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily want to wait. I have to go to the clinic and wait. I want to get the test results right then and there. If there was a way to get an accurate test up front, that would be a little bit more.
Yeah, but HIV is one thing, but you got all the rest of the STDs. So what about those?
That's what I'm saying. HIV is the main thing, but I say it should definitely be like a test for everything. Let's just run everything, and that way I can kind of know up front before we get into a relationship, before I sleep with you, if it's definitely something that I want to do. Because I feel like, in a relationship, you should know about your finances up front. You should know about if you got any issues up front, and then you should know about any sexual transmitted diseases up front.
Good luck with all of that, because 9 times out of 10 it's the opposite.
Exactly.
You get in a relationship, you fall for the people, and then you see, oh, they crazy, they depressed, they ain't got no money, and they got STDs, or they got a whole bunch of kids, or they got a broken family. I mean, it's just the way the universe works. But even if it is in a drugstore, people still not gonna buy it. Just like they don't buy condoms, and they right in the store.
So do you think it's something that the kids like? It should be brought into schools, like schools.
No.
Like if they had ability to be able to bring that in schools and say, all right, and start teaching kids how to be able to be, because you know how they took away all the sexual education for the most part, you know, going deep into it. So do you think that would be like almost like a standard?
No,
Like implementing
it
that?
should not be. I feel like anything that involves children should start at home.
Okay.
If they can't get that at home, there should be other outlets. I don't necessarily think school is where it should be, because I kind of almost look at school like the workplace. Like at work, you don't discuss religion and politics. So at school, especially when you have children who are still growing up, they still figuring themselves out, peer pressure, then you want to add, you know, sex, and it's just, I think that's just too much.
Right.
So-
And on top of that, the teasing comes in too, and that it just does something to a child when, you know, if the word gets out, you know, that they may have something, or if they are talking about it in class and they're inquisitive, they want to know certain things, and kids will be like, oh, well, what you asking this for? Sometimes it can mess them up mentally while they're young.
So let me ask you this: with the way how kids are nowadays, right? With our kids, because our kids are having sex at a younger and younger age. And I don't want to ask anybody when they lost their virginity. I don't want to know.
Ain't none of their business.
But with the
Still a
kids,
virgin.
do you think it's something like, all right, you know, most of the time with anything that comes with medical, it's the earlier that you know, you know what I mean, the better that it is for you to be able to have preventive treatment, be able to get yourself situated with it, get the medical advice that you need. Right. So not necessarily maybe elementary or middle school, but maybe high school, where kids are sexually active.
And that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I was going to say maybe it depends on if you're going to put it in the school. It depends on the age of the children, so the maturity level can kind of be there. But then, like you say, kids are different nowadays, so they're doing a lot of that stuff a lot earlier. So hell, by the time you get to high school, that might be too late.
Yeah.
What you think?
It's like the kids nowadays are a lot more faster, and they're growing up a whole lot quicker than we did. So, I mean, I know my son is going to the 6th grade, but he was introduced to conversations about sex in the 5th grade and came home and asked questions about it. I wasn't looking forward to having that talk with him at 11 years old, but it was introduced. You know, kids, they soak up everything like a sponge, so they take stuff home. I mean, they take stuff from what they hear from home, and, you know, when they're around grown-up conversation, and they repeat it to their kids and stuff like that. So I've been forced to have conversations with my son dealing with sex and drugs a whole lot earlier than what I expected to, because of, unfortunately, the environment he's going to school in. So, yeah, I think it's the quicker you get to it, the better.
So let's say if we had it set it up where, or let's say if it was something that was set up where, okay, maybe by the 11th grade year. 11th grade year puts you at what, 16?
Yeah.
About
Maybe.
16.
16, 17.
So at 16, you know, because do you think it's something that drug tests and maybe an STD test are two things that a child should go through in school? And the reason why I'm bringing up this topic, because I'm thinking to myself, if you're going to get a job, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? What's one of the things that they always do?
Drug test.
Okay. So if they open up that door now and they understand that, okay, well, this is just a normal regimen of what you normally deal with in life, the STD part may not be. That's more of an education piece to be able to just
Right.
for preventive maintenance. Because we don't focus on that. Mm-hmm. But the drug test is something where if we kind of, all right, well, listen, this is what you should expect out in the workforce. Because even if I remember I went to, and I can't remember if you went in with Miss Dolores, the work program. Mm-hmm. The work program, they drug tested us. You know what I mean? They drug tested us to make sure that we wasn't wasting their time when they sent us out to go get the job. What do y'all think about that?
I think that's an awesome idea. Normally, let's take it back a little bit. In like 7th grade, I think you're required to have shots.
Even before that.
I know
Yeah,
sixth grade you are.
Before you even enter middle school, so I think it definitely should be a requirement for high school. Before you enter your junior year, your senior year, these things should be required. And that way it's private. You have to go to your own physician, and it'll cut down all of the stuff I was talking about earlier about exposing people, and also let them know that it'll be required maybe once you graduate or when you get a job. I think it's very important.
Yeah, maybe if you do it, because at first I was going to disagree, but maybe if you use that type of discretion, okay, this is required for this year or whatever, but you still use your own physician, not necessarily.
The school
We're
nurse.
going to sit all the 11th graders in the auditorium,
Right.
and you one by one going to go take a drug test or STD test. But if you do it like that, then I think that's kind of okay. But then, again, like I said, shit, by that age, it might be too late.
What you think?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, but I think it needs to be done a lot earlier.
That's why I always say it start at home.
Yeah.
But I guess my question is, when you say it start at home, like the hardest part for me is, what about those parents that just don't feel comfortable having that conversation?
And that's
Yeah.
another reason why you shouldn't take it to school, because then, like he said, children are spun. They take things from schools, things they hear from other people, and then they bring it home. Well, I heard this. They said this. We supposed to do it this way, because if you have this at school, what's the best way to approach it? Especially when you have parents who don't teach this, or they do teach that, or their religion believes this and don't believe that, but you teaching my child this at school. I just say, raise your children at home with certain things. Try to get to it as early as you can. And nowadays in the world we live in, there is no age to start. Shoot, I don't know.
So, and I like that you talked about religion. So that brings us to our next topic. So I don't know if everybody's religious on that. Everybody super religious? I know I'm not.
I serve a God that specializes.
So when we talk about religion in school, is that something how do y'all feel about that? Like, I know when I was growing up, we had to say the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, all that stuff. And then, it's on our money. Mm-hmm. So I do understand. I think as a parent now, and I kind of understand what's going on. I don't think religion necessarily should be in school, but I do feel like you should be able to practice your religion in school. So even if you don't celebrate the flag, you know what I mean, and you don't necessarily say the Pledge of Allegiance, whatever your religion is, you should be able to exhibit it in school. What do you think about that?
I think it's fine, to practice your religion. However, I definitely think that there should be some type of courses on the different religions, because like you just said, you're not as religious or whatever, however you want to put it. Some people are going to church, but they're just going because their parents make them. They're not actually studying Christianity or Hinduism, Judaism, whatever. So I feel like they should have some type of courses in school that opens them up to those different type of religions, and that way they can actually choose what they want to do. Because I feel, and being in education, if somebody sees somebody practicing Hinduism, and Hinduism, they roll on the ground, and everybody be rolling on the ground trying to be funny, as opposed to understanding the true meaning behind this particular religion or what the person is doing. Christianity, of course, we say one nation under God, and of course God and Jesus, that's Christianity. I feel like they should have courses and different things, or things that they can take home to tell them about different religions, so that they can have the knowledge, and that way when they're practicing things, they'll know how to actually act around other people with different religions. Because I'm sure all of that, it should include, okay, well, you do this, if this person is such and such and such, this student is not allowed to talk about them, or they're not allowed to practice what they practice unless you can prove, the type of religion that you're trying to practice at that time.
What I got?
I think it should. I mean, it's no problem as long as it's a respect level there, where everybody can respect each and everyone's religion. Going overseas while I was in the military, they do it in the schools over there. Now, granted, the majority are, if you were in a certain region, they may be, maybe Christianity or Hinduism or whatever, but they allowed the kids to practice their religion in the schools. So I don't see it being a problem over here, so as long as each and everyone is respectful of the person next to them, it shouldn't be an issue.
I mean, I think if I saw it at a younger age, you know what I mean, like maybe elementary school, like if that's what they practice, and I seen it at because 9 times out of 10, majority of the time, the people that you go to elementary school, it's supposed to use, they grow up with you as long as y'all stay in the same neighborhood, but you know, you have your military, whatever the case may be. But if I saw it at a younger age, then when I get older, it kind of goes back to the HIV thing. When I get older, I understand it a little bit better.
It's normal.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So what do you think about the concept of, okay, well, listen, this is my friend, you know, and I'm not saying necessarily like you got to sit and pull out the Quran and read it right then and there, but you know, there are some religions that practices a specific time, you know what I mean? Right. And I feel like, okay, is there a possibility to be able to open that door? Because I think if the kids nowadays were to be able to see the diversity like how it should be in a more of a glorified light instead of a shunned, I think it would kind of be a situation that kind of, you know, warrant a little bit more curiosity to want to learn about that. Because, you know, just like you said, you know, I think, I don't, this is sad. I don't know what what my parents are. I don't know if it's, they always got to remind me because I don't know. I don't know if it's Baptist or I don't know what it is. But I know I didn't evolve from that. I did Christianity. So I chose my own way. You know what I mean? So would you feel different if your child, what you grew up with and your child decided to choose a different path outside of what you were raised? You know what I mean?
As long as they're over the age of 18, I don't care. But as for me in my house, this is what we are going to practice. And I'm going to teach you everything about our faith in this house. Now, of course, if you want to practice something else, as long as you research it, you know, you're familiar with it, you know what the bylaws of it is, and you understand for yourself, not just following somebody else, I don't have an issue with it as long as you're beyond the age of 18.
A few things. So I disagree with religion being put in schools. Like you said, the Quran, for a perfect example, at a certain time you read whatever. That's a little hard to do that in school, especially if you're in the middle of class, you're learning. I think in the world we live in now, everybody's so opinionated. Everybody has an opinion and an option about everything, which they are entitled to, right. And that's fine. And I just feel like school isn't the place for it. Now, as Medulla said, you know, if they had like in college, I think most people took like an intro to religion course that gave you just a general synopsis of majority of the religions right. in the world, United States, wherever you are. I think something like that is fine. Say, oh, these are the other religions besides Christianity, because, you know, in the United States, that's what it's based off of. So that's generally what people gravitate to at first.
Right.
And not saying theirs is right, ours is wrong, whatever the case may be. But it's just, I think you take away from schooling when you try to cater to everyone's belief. And again, I say that's back on the home thing. Now, I don't really disagree with a child being of a different religion, but I kind of side with Medulla. If this is what I believe and this is my house, then you kind of gotta be respectful. Now, if you're of a certain age and you understand knowledge and you know why this is what you want to believe in, and you are a diehard soul-eyed person to this religion, and that's what you agree to, I'm not against that. You know, I can't make you believe the way you believe or not. Just like, you know, you take, for instance, a heterosexual couple who has a gay child. Of course, their natural reaction is to instill in them, if they were raised a certain way, oh, that's wrong, you need to be straight. But I mean, the difference is almost the same, just like religion. Well, if that's what they choose to do, you can't make them, and as your child, you should love them. So if that's what they are naturally attracted to, then you can't make them. Just like religion, I may believe in God, but if you believe in Buddha, I'm not gonna make you do that just because you're my child.
But see, a lot of times,
Try me.
I mean, but a lot of times, what happens is that people go through fads.
That's true.
And you know, I think a lot of times they don't understand why they're doing certain things. That's why I say in my house, I'm going to teach you everything so that you understand exactly what it is. Now, after that, you turn 18, because if you allow your child to, just say if I'm practicing Christianity and I allow my child to practice Buddhism in my house, and I got all these different things that's going on in my house. My household is unstable.
And I agree with you
And
that,
I
like,
feel-
you can't do that while you staying with me. Like, until you grown, it's just because it's too much to keep up with.
Right, but you say you have to be respectful. So technically, if you're being respectful, you're still practicing it in my house.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Once they become of age, when you have an adult child, they're still your child, but they're an adult, then that's just, we got to learn how to respect each other because now we're adults. I may be your parent, you may be my child. Now, once it get to a certain point, we'll have a conversation, and if that means you got to get out, then that's just what it means. But there's enough on that. I don't have any children, but that's just my thought process.
What you got?
As long as my son is under my roof, he'll practice what I practice, which is Christianity. And once he's an adult and he moves out of the house and he becomes his own man, that's when he can practice whatever it is that he wants to. And I won't, I'll still love him the same. I won't look down on him. I won't, talk down to him. Same thing my parents told me, my grandparents told me, while you here, this is what you're going to do. You're going to abide by it. And when you go out and, pay your own bills and get your own house, then you can do whatever it is that you want to do. So as long as he understands that, then it won't be an issue.
Okay. So we're gonna change gears for a second.
Why
That was a pretty good conversation. Listen, a little tense. So we're gonna switch it up. We're gonna talk about workplace dating. So they say you're not supposed to.
Wrong.
That's what they say. You're not supposed to.
Not happening.
So y'all cool with workplace dating?
No, wrong.
Okay.
Incorrect.
All right.
Ain't nothing coming between me
And my money.
and my money.
Bread. Okay, you're not supposed to
Unless you sign my check and I get a little something extra for that, then that's a little different. And even then, you got to be careful.
Well, what's wrong? Now I'm a product. My marriage is a product of workplace dating. So I met her at work. Because 9 times out of 10, I'm always at work. I was always at work. So when I was at work, I ran into her. I was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, Well, first of all, I ain't like my wife. So
Okay.
at all. But
Let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Do you still work together now?
yes, actually we do. We do in business.
No, that's not what I'm
There's a
talking
difference.
about.
There's a
Come on,
difference.
Workplace.
Well, no, I left the job that she's at.
Okay.
But we actually transitioned from one job to the next job, actually. Because when I left my previous job, I went to another company and brought her over to the other company.
Oh, okay.
But it was a difference in changing that was when we started we were in financial services, banking side, so we switched over to the mortgage side together. So now she has appreciation of mortgage, just like I have appreciation of mortgage. But what's wrong with workplace dating? If you already at the job all the time, you be with the military people. Y'all be at the job.
There's a lot of workplace dating.
He or she might be there. You just like, all right, well,
Everybody's not mature enough to handle it, first of all. You have to
and
understand.
if it don't work out,
then
it's
you
just so
still
much
got to see this
drama.
person every day. And then especially if you or them are already married or already in a relationship, but they don't know that because y'all only at work.
I
You know what I'm saying? But
that.
all of that plays into part
Yeah, it
of it.
does.
Like, it's at work, so I can do what I want to do at work. At home, it's something totally different. And then you got the jealous people, and then especially if it's a hierarchy, they manage other people or they are your manager, then people start to talk and then rumors start getting spread. It just
And both of y'all fired.
you got to be really, really mature about it. It's possible and it's doable, but 9 times out of 10, it don't work.
So if you see somebody at work,
Especially if you see them working at the same company is different than working together. We can work at the same company all day and I don't ever see you at work. But when I see you at home and I got to see you in the building on a consistent basis, that's a
so
little
y'all
different.
don't think so. Like, all right, so say you go to work, you chilling,
Right.
you see the person, you're like, I want to take this person out today. Take this person out today. Everything's good. Y'all start, dating, right? Do y'all feel okay? Well, let's take it up a notch. Hierarchy level. I'm glad you pointed that out. So manager versus manager, they're okay to date.
You're already not supposed to do that. So
Manager and manager?
you're not supposed to.
Oh,
That'll get you in trouble.
Code of ethics.
Well, I thought manager and
Yeah.
manager was good because y'all the same
Manager,
level.
you didn't say that at first.
Yeah, I said manager and manager.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. Okay. Well, that's a little different.
Yeah, manager and manager.
Yeah, as long as you don't report to that person, okay.
Okay. So manager and a lower person, but not underneath me. So say I'm the manager, you are, you have another manager on a different team.
I mean, as long as when we look at the organization chart for the job and I don't fall under you or you don't fall under me.
But what if I'm like, so I'm on a different department. I'm in a different department.
Right. And that's fine.
Okay. But I still have the ability to be able to come and tell you what you need to do or do what you need to do if I have to step in.
I just feel like space is healthy.
Yes.
You have to be able to separate something. It's just like I have heard, and I may be wrong, but I've heard a couple of stories. It's just like a doctor dating another doctor. Sometimes I have heard that the woman or the man gets so bored because it's like there's nothing different when you come home. We're always talking about medical stuff. We're always talking about patients. Our schedules are always off the chain. There needs to be some type of separation within the careers. Just my opinion. There needs to be some type of separation in the careers so that when you come together, the chemistry is on point. You know, because if you got the person that working at the same company, or y'all going through the same things, you know, they about to be laying off and they about to be laying off, I believe that can actually create drama in the household. Or in the relationship, and then you seeing this person all the time, and you know there's no break.
That's my whole thing.
Yeah, some people can be okay with that. But
workplace sex is fine. Workplace dating is a little different because I got to see you, and we still got to date. It's all about maturity level. We can date.
Then we go home.
It don't have to be workplace dating.
Home, and then
that's my thing. It don't have to be workplace dating. We can date, but when it comes to 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. We're dating and it shows at work.
Okay.
And everybody's like in your business or they know that,
But don't you think that people are in your business if you let them in your business?
It doesn't matter. People are going to formulate what they want anyway.
Yeah, and people will watch. I mean,
right.
You can tell by body chemistry.
Especially if it's somebody that wanted one of y'all.
Right.
They already going to pick up on, they're going to see y'all go to lunch together. Y'all arrived at the same time. Y'all left together, you know. You stop by their desk, they stop by your desk. You know, people just, especially women. Women are real nosy about stuff like that.
Hey, and your whole demeanor change. Oh yeah, something going on. We can already see that.
You know, you laughing for 20 minutes and wasn't shit funny. I mean, it's just
crazy stuff.
It's just little stuff like that. And then, like Medulla said, if it doesn't work out, now you got to deal with this person still on a daily basis.
And if you want to actually date somebody else on the job, then you gotta
deal with that.
Yeah, and then you the workplace hoe. You know
what I'm saying? Then your name going around.
And people will say that, I'm cool with it, but okay, let it start tapping into them emails and stuff like that, and people start saying things.
Oh, you don't get a job because
it's a conflict of interest and all this type of stuff. What?
Workplace sex.
Yeah.
Over workplace dating.
But sometimes sex is even worse.
Yeah,
because a lot of people are not mature. Some men are very immature.
Know who you fucking.
I don't know. You know what? My wife always seems like she used to be telling me like,
we don't want to talk. We ain't in this.
But I like how you said that. You know what I'm saying? She was like, you always got to know who you got to know who you fucking or who you have a child with. But do you truly ever know? Like, because if I seen the chick and I'm just like, damn, I'm trying to smash. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to connect with her or whatever. 9 times I didn't want to connect. I was really just trying to smash.
You're so professional. You want to connect.
Yeah, but
because there's a difference, right?
But if I smash one time and I don't necessarily know you crazy. You know what I mean? I smash one time and then I'm done. You know what I mean? And then now, because even if we not at work and you are at work, if she crazy, what she gonna do? But my thing is this: if I'm at the workplace, right, and I should have the professionalism, it should be a switch that I shut off. Mm-hmm. So if I come to work and you come to work and the switch is shut off and we not lovey-dovey, we just working. You know, I'm at my desk. I might ping you. You know, as everybody got I am.
I don't even want to do that. Just text me.
You don't. Well, you
because
don't gotta.
People watch pings. People watch emails.
Yeah, but
they can pull all that shit up.
If you're dating outside of work and you
why
work
didn't you
together,
ping me?
They're gonna find out. People around you are gonna know because humans, we're creatures of habit. So if you always, look at her a certain way outside of work, or if you call her by a certain nickname, or if y'all have a certain inside joke, it's gonna be in the workplace as well. And like you said, body chemistry.
It's just
it's your body language. In the military, there was the same perception as everything.
Like I said, it can only work if we don't work in the same department. We can work at the same company forever, but when we're in the same space all the time, every day, and then I'm still, hell, I don't want to date you outside of work because I'm dealing with you at work. So yeah, we can workplace date. I just ain't got to date you outside.
Okay.
Need
So
my
we're
money.
gonna,
Come see me my
Work
coin.
husbands, work husbands, work wives. That works
okay.
at work.
Okay. So let's talk about this. So now we talk about y'all dating, whether y'all work or not, right? And
I work when necessary.
Huh?
I work when necessary.
Okay. And so let's talk about pornography.
I love porn.
So you're dating or you're in a marriage. Mm-hmm. Is it a problem?
It shouldn't
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be.
Because you got some that say
Hold
they're
on.
like, you got the side that says
So
they get a little jealous because they're like, oh.
So it's only an issue when you're using porn more than you're using it with your partner. Like if
I
you're
was going to say
satisfying
that.
yourself more and then you can't perform with your partner, then that's an issue.
And that's an issue.
Now, if you can keep up both, power to you. I ain't built like that. But I don't see nothing wrong with it. As long as you're taking care of home as well as whatever you do using the porn for. Maybe you get using it for pointers. I don't know. Some people recreate the scenes at the same time. I don't know. That was just
I
that
just
was
feel
free.
like if you're
That was free.
if you're not doing it with the partner, like you said, if you're not doing it with the partner, sometimes outside of that, it can become an addiction. So it's like you constantly have to do this outside of your relationship. And
What's
technically,
being addicted to porn? What's your definition?
I mean, just like somebody who smoke weed, they just gotta have a hit, or somebody that do drugs, or I just gotta look at porn tonight. What have you? That's an addiction. Something that basically overtakes you, and you're not satisfied until you have it.
But
I think that's an addiction.
When you relieve yourself, doesn't it? I ain't know.
Well, see, I don't always. Okay.
when you relieve yourself.
Well, sometimes I just watch. Okay, so
adrenaline though. Doesn't it kick up adrenaline?
So I have a good
trigger.
for 5 minutes.
Trigger some type of.
Suzanne, bring me my notebook.
I mean, it kicks up adrenaline for just a minute, but I mean, you have to think too. Now, this is not me. This ain't my testimony. But some people can only perform that one time. So I mean, that adrenaline may only be after that first.
And that's when it becomes an issue when you cannot perform in the bedroom with your partner, especially if you got a husband, wife, a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever you got, and I was already alone today, so But I help you now.
And then sometimes adrenaline can make you go to sleep too. Cause you be like, ooh.
That's the only time it's an issue. It should not be. If maybe you should help. You should. This not your testimony, is it?
Who?
Ain't no owls in here. ain't no owls in here.
Okay. You.
No. This is actually a good topic. This was on that the Let's Debate group. That's where I pull this off of.
I just feel like it shouldn't be anyway because in a marriage or relationship, you should try to explore things. Just try new things.
So let's talk about that.
Why you?
I had to put.
I wasn't finished.
Yeah, I know. So let's talk about this. So what if the type of porn that they're looking at is something that you just.
It depends on what they're looking at, because
So
people in some freaky into some freaky shit.
Yeah, you know what I'm
you
saying?
like pregnant midgets and stuff like that. I can't deal with that.
Yeah, like what if it's like bondage or something like that? Yeah,
like S&M ain't nothing wrong with being tied up.
But if I'm not used to that, right? So if I walk in and I say, I'm like,
so she got a whip in the chain and she wants you to put on some leather briefs, you're not gonna do it.
I'm not used to that. That's not that's something. So that's what I'm saying. So if I'm not used to it. Do you think what they watch is an issue too? Because if you watching bondage and that person's not into bondage, if you watching, I don't know,
pregnant midgets.
That's
I ain't never seen pregnant midgets. I only say that because
you said that twice. Is that a category?
It is. If you go to a porn store and they have all the videos, they have midgets, they have pregnant midgets. I mean, they have people. I'm not even gonna say that.
I've seen the pregnant people.
They have pregnant midgets too.
Oh, wow. I didn't
well, maybe they was just so short that I don't know. But I mean, yeah, it depends.
Maybe they was full. Maybe they weren't pregnant. They was full.
It depends on. Yeah, it depends on what they into. It does.
As far as me, like I don't overthink it. As long as it's nothing crazy, like animal sex, it's the same. I look at it like. Your wife may not be into football, but she'll sit down and watch it with you and, try to learn about it because it's something that you're into. It's all like you. She could like fine dining, and you like buffet, but you'll go out to eat with her because that's something she's interested in. So you're gonna show interest in it as well.
So you like midgets? Say, baby, you gotta get on your knees sometimes.
But
you know what I'm saying?
I think the opposite because to me, if I know that I'm not into if my mate is watching something I'm not into it, I possibly would give them a pass as long as it's to a limit. I'll say, okay, well,
it depends on what it is.
So what if your mate?
I don't have an issue with porn because I watch it every day, all day, and I'm not using it. I'm not always looking at it for the intent to get off. I just like to keep a collection, and I may need to access.
You save it?
Yes.
You can save it?
Off air. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know you could save. I thought it was stream only.
I teach you a few things. Suzanne, I told Suzanne to bring me my book.
So I guess my question is this: so when we talking about, like, say if you sit with your partner and your partner is constantly in the gangbang, and it's like multiple people in there at one time. Mm-hmm. And you just kind of like,
I just wish I could see Suzanne's face over there. I mean,
because what you messing up the mic?
I got this. Keep going.
Don't try to deflect.
Okay, so say if it's some situation like that, what would you?
That's something alarming. So that's
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So I guess the categories are more.
It's levels to it, I guess.
I like that.
Yeah.
I support the naked hustle.
Yeah.
To a degree. But I'm just in a lot of freaky shit, so I don't know.
But for that person that's not into it.
Yeah, I mean, you
gotta have a serious conversation.
Or you got to attempt to embrace it.
How do you have that conversation? How does that conversation go? Because what if the person that you into
so you let it pass for that moment. You definitely don't mess up nobody's nut. So you let that happen. Is this PG-13?
No,
Suzanne?
I
guess so. Okay. I'm talking about porn.
Listen, everybody that be on the network, I don't even care no more. I don't got time to be doo-doo.
So I mean, you definitely don't bring it up right then. You may wait. You gotta collect your thoughts because you really gotta approach it right, especially if you're not into it. And you just be like, hey, I saw you watching, some porn, and the category you was in was a little interesting. So is that something that you're into? Or is that something you've done before?
Make sure you clear your history.
Clear
your history.
Yeah, if you're trying to hide it, yeah. But if you're not trying to hide it,
you're right.
You already got the
because they might, especially after you've been married 5, 10, 15 years, it might not have been something they was into. It might just be something they stumbled up on. I met a couple that they didn't start out as swingers and they're full-fledged swingers now. The girl was interested and he was just like, well, I love you, so let's see what this is about. And
so relationship went
now
through
they
metamorphosis.
Oh
yes.
Now they're polys. But yeah, I don't know. It's tough, but you can definitely have it, and then you just have to decide if this is something that you want to continue. Because if that's something that they're into and they're starting to indulge in it alone, eventually at some point they're gonna want to do it either with you or without you.
Right, and see that's the second part of that conversation needs to be, okay, what are the pros and what are the cons? Is it really going to tear up our marriage? Is it really going to keep our marriage together? Or is it going to lead to something else? Because a lot of times I feel this, this is just me. I have to play devil's advocate. When you are getting pleasure other places, a lot of times you'll keep trying to get pleasures elsewhere because eventually that point is going to get old. So you'll actually try to go out and find somebody that's going to give you that type of pleasure, which in return can mess up your marriage and the work dating and the work sex and all of that.
My porn never gets old.
Well,
No, not my personal. I'm just saying.
But I know I've seen something. I just be like, oh, okay, they about to do this, they about to do that, or whatever. So I'd be like, okay, never mind, then whatever.
It's ways around it, especially if, like I said, if you were into midgets, you just have to tell your wife to get on her knees. And then you said you brought a thing about gang bang. If she's in a gang bang, then just get like 4 other dildos and then stick them in other places. So to give her that illusion that,
But if you're not able to deliver,
right,
just know
she'll get it elsewhere. Next topic.
So
Just had that was free. That one was free too.
So the last topic, and we're wrapping this up. So the last topic that we have for you pretty much is this. Videos. Is it something that y'all feel comfortable keeping a video?
What?
Oh, we still on porn stuff?
Yeah, we still on relationships. We're on relationships. Calm down. So, is it okay to keep videos of your significant other if you are not married? If you are married, do you still think it's considered okay to have videos of your partner?
That's up to you. I mean, like I told somebody the other day, I said, why do y'all get upset when videos and pictures leak? Because once you send it out, whether you trusted that person, they was in a relationship, y'all was married, once you send it out, it's no longer yours. It does not belong to you. So you have to be aware that, okay, this might get out one day because you don't know what the future holds. So you better be sure. I don't see nothing wrong with it, but personally, if it's somebody I'm in a relationship with, what we sending videos and pictures for like that? I mean, FaceTime be popping. So you at this point, you
People
don't
hack FaceTime.
Huh?
People hack FaceTime.
You can hack my FaceTime.
And what's the other one? What's Hangouts?
Hey, I don't use that.
FaceTime is enough.
Yeah, I mean, FaceTime is enough. I don't see anything wrong with it if you're trying to keep it spicy, or if somebody's on a business trip, or y'all long distance, it's fine. But just normally, no, not really. I mean, you with the person, so leave something to the imagination.
I think it's okay, and whether you're dating or married, but just make sure it's not on a cell phone. Do it like on
Unless it's your phone.
But no, not even that. I mean, I think you should do it like on a personal camera that y'all buy yourselves. That way you can always have that, because a phone is, a phone it has so much access to it. You got kids going through phones now. Your kids playing games. They say,
lose your damn phone.
I saw mommy. She was going, and daddy was going, So if my child get my phone, that's not something that I want my 2-year, 3-year-old to see. And then they go in the room and they practice it on one of the baby dolls.
Put it in a keepsake folder.
Yeah, lock it in the safe.
Oh, you need a fingerprint.
So, I mean, and then that way, because when you have kids and stuff, when people that are really, really married, because don't nobody believe in real marriage no more. Everybody just trying to date and be on Facebook and stuff. But when you're in a real marriage, and you got kids, shut up. When you're in a real marriage and you got kids and stuff, you ain't gonna be getting it every night all the time. So those nights that you have. Let me finish. Shut up. When you I'm not married, but I'm in a relationship. So when you have those nights that you're not gonna be able to get it, you have that camera, that visual, so you can go look and remember how it was, and then y'all can actually go do another one, spark it up. But if everything's in the phone and you see it every day, you ain't got nothing to look forward to. Just my truth.
I agree.
Praise the Lord. Continue.
I love random videos out of the blue.
So y'all send random dick pics to chicks?
No, of course not.
Oh, I'm just asking because.
No, of course not.
No.
Yeah, first of all, not a chick.
Well, not the chicks. You're married.
Okay.
So you one of them random.
Yeah, why not? I mean, we married.
Well, I'm just asking because girls don't like that. So, but you married, so I don't know. Maybe that's why.
I mean, when you're in a relationship, whether you're married,
You gotta be spontaneous.
like sometimes, let's say you at work and you just having a hard day, your supervisor around your back because of something he messed up on, and all of a sudden,
and the ass just come across your screen.
and you like today gonna be all right. It's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? And it's not true. Women.
Oh, today gonna be all right with ass.
First of all, you're supposed to hold it and hold it close.
And please don't have preview on your lock screen.
Yeah, that's one. And then two, you gotta make sure that you set it up so that it say
text message.
They gotta know, like you gotta send it, say NSF first. You send that first.
Send it as
That's too much word. Just send the damn
just send it.
What's the
Just don't have it on your badge or no banner.
Like I be with clients,
So
so
when-
I don't want to be like, and I'm talking to my client, and I'm like,
Legs
and then
right
my client be like, what's? And I'm
Well,
like, you know
usually
what I'm saying?
during the hours of 9 to 5, when I know you're at work, if I'm gonna send something explicit, I send it. What is it called?
The invisible text?
Invisible. So when it comes through, it's blurry. So you have to move your finger to make the screen actually appear. I mean, to make the picture actually appear. But you can send it to visual. Off air.
Listen.
I'm finna charge you now because I done give you a couple of free nuggets. I'm trying to make it.
I got 12 though. I updated to 12. Can you do it on 12?
We'll help you. You know I work for Apple part-time.
I'm getting tired.
But yeah, I'm all for it. You know,
Spontaneous love.
They just yeah, you know what I'm saying. Not all the time. Don't send one every day.
We said videos. Now the pics are
Videos
something
say
different.
thing too. Videos.
I mean, if you was in the shower and you just felt like,
Yeah.
because girls love shower heads. That's why they always got one. You got a detachable one, a removable one. It ain't because she trying to get her back.
Well, first of all, I'm the one that chose the shower head because I like that. Thank you very much. I like the little heater thing.
Well, you may like shower heads.
What is he into? Suzanne!
All right, so
It's a joke. It's a joke. Calm down.
Well, this has been another episode. What am I doing? I'm sorry. You know, just natural podcast that I can't help
stay on
it.
your podcast.
I mean, you needed us.
Yeah,
That's
we
true.
were on that
That's true.
podcast.
Yes, that's true.
We were.
That's true. I had to jump on.
Put my
I had to have
shades
y'all
on if I
jump
say
on.
something shady.
Well, listen, I appreciate everybody watching. This was just kind of a lighthearted episode. This season has been pretty much an intense season. We've talked about a lot of different things, so I appreciate everybody coming. I think we will finish off our last one with Baby Mama, Baby Daddy, because that's gonna be one with the live audience. And
Can I come back for that one?
Yeah, you can come
Okay.
back.
You know.
I know I had the results, and you are not the father.
But this is another episode of Black Spark Cafe. Thank y'all for coming.
You say it's cafe, right?
Cafe.
What a
drinks,
food
what the
head.
food is.
Yeah. Holler at the player when you see him on the street.
But y'all's is no shit Sherlock. Where the shit at? Exactly.
Right here.
I mean, look at you.
Here's a sculpture right here. A bunch of shit.
And that's how I'm gonna end this episode too. Okay.